Hello and welcome to Let's Play Blackguards. I'm going to be your host, Niryan. And to start, Blackguards is a strategy RPG developed by Daedalic Entertainment, usually known for their adventure games, such as the Deponia series, as well as the Dark Eye Chains of Sataniv. So this is not their first attempt into the Dark Eye world, although this game is their first foray into the actual rule set in making just a turn-based, hex-based strategy RPG about it. I'll be explaining all the various systems as we go along, but to start, let's just start a new game here and see what we have. Now, if just looking at this first screen, we can see that we have 3 different professions to choose from. These only really determine your starting attributes, talents, spells, and special abilities. These do not in any way define what you can take later on in the game, because you receive adventure points as you win battles and complete quests, which can be put into anything that's available, not just what your own class has. But we have the Warrior, which either wields 1 or 2-handed weapons and does melee combat generally. The Mage, which does all sorts of various magic effects, like direct damage spells, disabling spells, healing spells. They work off astral energy, which is this game's mana equivalent. And then we have the Hunter, which is kind of your jack of all trades. They fight with a spear, use bows, and they have knowledge of most of the skills that the game has. And you also choose male and female. To my knowledge, your gender choice really doesn't have much of an impact on how the game goes along. So we're going to be a male, warrior. And you can only choose from 5 predefined looks in this game, so I think we're going to go with this one and name our fellow Sarek. So we are good with weapons, we have good body control, which means we can resist effects quite nicely. We have high resistance against wounds, which are disabling effects that can happen in the game if you take damage over certain thresholds, which are very bad things to have because they just generally lower your fighting ability. And we can have some basic knowledge on treating these wounds. Can't shoot things though, and we don't have a whole lot of utility skills in the wild. We can use armor a bit better than the smart people can, and we have Power Blow, which I'll get into once combat starts. So I will not be talking over any cutscenes in the game, because you can listen to it yourself, and I'm not going to read any of the actual text for you for the tutorials. Without further ado, let's have at it. Bit of loading.
We might follow our reason, our instinct, or our friends. Sooner or later, all of them deceive us. Trust no one, they say. Especially not yourself.
Alright, that's your opening cutscene there. So Wolf just ate our friend named Eleanor, and we're going to beat that wolf up and take our revenge. So this is just the general tutorials. I'll leave them up for just a little bit. If you want to look at it more in depth, you can certainly pause as we go along. And alright. So to start off, this is how the actual gameplay portion of the game is mostly going to be organized. This is just a general battle map. Important to note that every battle map in this game is unique and handmade by the developers. So later on we'll have special effects in them, but we'll get into those when they become relevant. And all these hexes are the ones that are highlighted in blue, our movement range. This shade of blue means we can move and still do an action afterwards. This shade of blue means we need to use up our action to move this far. Thankfully though, we can move right up against this werewolf-like creature. And if you right-click on it, this is the action bar. This is your attack thing. This is a standard attack. This is the power blow I mentioned earlier. This lets us do more damage, but reduces the chance we'll hit it. This is all magic, which I'll get into once we get a mage in the party. This waits and holds the action, meaning that you can act again after everyone else has moved. This ends the turn. This swaps between weapon sets that you can set in the inventory later on. This is a belt pouch where you can put potions and stuff in a belt once you get it. This is the perception test button, which lets you try to do perception talent test to see if there's anything on the battle map that you can use. And this lets you use things on the battle map, which we'll get into later. So to start, I think we're just gonna take a swipe at the wolf here. And one hit kill. Nice.
Princess.
Secrets.
Eleanor. What's going on? What's happening to me?
There's somebody back there!
Rest.
So now, strangely enough, that wolf corpse is gone, so they're thinking that we killed the princess, and this sets kind of the events of the game in motion. Get a bit of experience from all that.
The name. Tell us the name.
Lysander? What?
To hell with you, bastard! You slew Eleanor.
No! No, that's not... What happened to me?
He must tell us the name.
What are you talking about? What name?
Tell us what you know, this instant!
What I know? What name?
Too bad. You leave me no choice. My friend Muratori will make you talk. Tell us the name. The name!
What name? I don't know any name! I've always known what I want out of life. To sleep the days away under the sun. I just wanted to live. No more, no less. But the death of the princess changed everything. They think I murdered her. And they might be right. Maybe it doesn't even matter. You come into this world as a nobody, and you leave it as a nobody. They'll put a rope around my neck, and my neck will break. But one question still haunts me, by the Nameless One. What happened to me?
Who knows?
I don't know why you're here, but I have a feeling you shouldn't stay.
How did you manage to free yourself?
You biggins don't know how to lock up an Angra show.
We have company.
Hey!
Alright, now we have a new friend, a dwarf. He's going to be like a fighter type like ourselves. You see, he has a bit more health, and he'll also be able to do some other fighter-related things that are a bit better than what we can do at this point. He's a pretty useful party member so far. And this is just the ring tutorial like I went over earlier. And this over here, if you didn't notice in the last fight, is the initiative bar. This just says the order in which everyone goes. Like the dwarf will go, then Ceric will go, and then the jailer will go. And right here there'll be a marker that marks that this is the end of the turn, which is relevant for various magic effects that last on rounds. So without further ado, I think we'll just rush this guard with the dwarf. It's really hard to lose in the tutorial area, so parry that attack. And this goes over the special blow that I went over earlier. Nalrim, our dwarf, also has power blow, which is pretty useful. So as you'll see on the dwarf, he knows what his chances of hitting the jailer because he has the Warcraft talent with a decent score in it, which we do not have, and this talent will allow him to see his chance to hit basic enemies as well as to see their health. So we'll have him take a swing, and then we will do the same thing. Not much nuance this early on, it's just kind of back and forth with lots and lots of power blows. That'll change eventually. Ooh, yeah.
This one will be grateful that he doesn't have too much to carry on his way to the realm of the dead. Here are the keys. So, what's this name, eh? The name that Four Eyes was asking you about.
You mean Lysander?
I call him Four Eyes. Maybe you should just tell him what you know.
Alright, what is your name, sir?
What's your name?
I am Norim.
Just Norim? No son of...
Just Norim.
Most dwarves in this world tend to go, I am X, son of X. That this one doesn't is pretty noteworthy.
So why are you here?
I was trying to protect your country from the dragon. Fight fire with fire. Or so I thought.
What dragon?
The dragon. The golden one. He whose deceitfulness is going to devour us all. Because we've become blind to the eternal fight.
Ah.
Not really sure what he means by the Golden Dragon. I'm pretty sure we'll learn more about that later on, but if you can see here, there's another fellow locked up. We'll be talking to him now.
Let me tell you a secret.
Friends, hello. I love secrets, but I would be eternally grateful if you could free me as well.
We're just gonna go up and say hi to him. But first, this is what appears after every battle is done. This is just the loot and experience screen. We get 25 adventure points for defeating that jailer, as well as 3 ducats, which is the highest denomination of currency. And we get a belt, which we'll use to put potions in. We get some gloves, some pants, as well as some shoes. So I think we'll take everything.
Please open the lock. I'm innocent, as innocent as a man my age can ever be.
Alright, and we're just gonna ask why you're in there.
Why are you locked up then?
If only I knew. I'm a mage, from Alanfa no less. Obviously, reason enough to brand me a spy and throw me into the dungeon. The name's Zurbaran, from the House of Florios.
Al-Anfans can't be trusted. The dragon sent him, I tell you.
Alright, Alanfa is just a city to the south of the Horasian Empire, which is where this game takes place. It's a city dedicated to Boron, the world's pantheon's god of the god of the dead, and most Lanfins are generally lots of poison there, spies, assassins, mages. So being in a Lanfin somewhere else kind of signifies that something is up, and it's clearly, according to him, reason enough to be arrested.
What brings an Alanfan to the country of his enemies?
The weather, the landscape, the women.
Why are you wearing that ugly iron collar?
You're right. It doesn't match the shirt, does it?
I'll open the lock. We could use some help.
Wonderful. Now I only need to get rid of this collar.
Alright, this is the inventory tutorial. We'll be opening our inventory, putting on some belts and pants and gloves, and going over the equipment. But first, this is the node map. This is where dungeons all take place in this game. We're right here right now, and these are the 2 areas we can currently go to. These are all different maps that we'll be able to explore in and fight things in, but looking at the inventory, I'll just let you read over all this. I'm sure you're all very literate. This belt thing again. Yep, there's belt slots you can put things in. Alright, so as you can see here we have some Gambeson pants, which in this system armor is straight damage reduction. It's not like D&D where it helps you not get hit. That's what shields do. And armor can even make it easier for you to get hit if it's heavier enough, because then you'll get penalties to your parry. But these Gambeson pants, they increase our blunt resistance while decreasing our piercing and ordinary damage. Normally I wouldn't put it on, but as you can see, this is part of a set that we'll be able to get earlier than the leather set, and sets give you various bonuses. So I'll put on our new pants, our new shoes, our new gloves, and our new belt, in which we'll put this potion. And the only other thing we can really do is give Zurbaran here a torch so he can try to hit things, although he's a mage, so it'll be kind of hard for him to. But anything's better than that, and we'll go over the character screen and character management probably in the next video, I think. So, next time we'll start exploring this prison a bit more and try to get out, as well as do some character management. Until then.